what if 69% of your generation is already letting housing costs choose their career, and nobody told you there was a completely way to plan this? Here's what that looks like in real life. You graduate and you want a specific job. That job is in a city, and that city has rents. Those rents tell you exactly how much you have to earn just to exist there. So you take whatever job pays enough to cover it, and then the rent goes up, and you stay anyway because the moving costs more than staying. A 2026 Deloitte survey found 69% of Gen Z say housing affordability directly dictates their career choices and where they're willing to work. That's 7 out of 10 people making career decisions based on what their landlord is charging. I'm Vienna, like the city in Austria, not the sausage, and this is Wandering Vienna, where I share how my mom and I travel the world and the whole finance side of actually making that happen on a single mom's regular income. Stay with me to the end because at the end of this video, I'm going to show you exactly what my mom did instead. And when you see what that one housing cost built and what's still building right now, I think it's going to change how you look at every place that you've ever considered living. Most people think about housing like this: find a place you can afford, sign the lease, pay the rent every month. If the rent goes up, you either find more income or you move somewhere else. That's the rent path, and most people are on it without ever deciding to be. Here's the problem. Every dollar you send to the landlord is gone. It doesn't build anything. It doesn't compound. It doesn't come back. It just keeps a roof over your head for one more month. And because rent is almost always the biggest expense in anyone's budget, it also determines what job you need, what city you have to live in, and how much room you have in every other direction. Your landlord isn't just collecting rent, they're setting the floor for every financial choice you make. But here's what I watched my mom figure out. There's a completely different way to think about housing, and it doesn't start with having a lot of money. My mom is a single mom with a regular income, no inheritance, no second salary. She looked at the rent path and decided it wasn't what she wanted to build on. So she started researching, not how can I afford a place to live, but what kind of place could actually make money while I'm living in it. That question changes everything, because most people look for housing they can afford. My mom was looking for housing that could pay for itself. She wasn't looking for the nicest neighborhood. She wasn't looking for the house that she'd always imagined. She was looking for maximum square footage at the lowest price per square foot, with an attached space that could generate rental income. That search is a completely different search than one most people do. What she found wasn't a dream home. It was a financial decision, and that distinction is everything. She found a home with an attached apartment. The apartment needed carpet and paint, but that's all. She used a first-time homebuyer program with zero money down. And here's the part that people don't believe when I say it out loud. She found a motivated seller, someone who needed to move and needed to move fast, and after months of research, she knew exactly what to ask for. The seller paid 100% of the closing costs. On the day she bought the house, she had put $0 down and paid $0 in closing costs. She let a friend stay in the apartment first, before she ever charged rent. That's just who she is. Then she started renting it, and that rental income from one apartment that needed carpet and paint now covers 100% of the mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and utilities. Her monthly housing cost is $0. But that's not part of the story I think about most. The part I think about most is what happened with the money after that. Because she's not just living for free. Every month, $1,000 from the rental income comes into a separate S&P 500 index fund. Not money she earned at work, money the house generates. She's been doing that for close to 6 years. That's $99,711. I ran the math myself. If that $1,000 a month runs for 30 years at the same rate, $2.5 million, while 69% of Gen Z is adjusting their career choices to cover rent that builds nothing and goes nowhere, she's running completely different math. Her housing cost is $0, and her housing is actively building wealth at the same time. Now, I want to be clear about something before the end of this video, because I already know what most people are going to say. I can't do that. Buying a house isn't realistic for me right now. Maybe not, but here's what I want to leave you with. My mom didn't buy a house because she had a lot of money. She bought a house because she started asking a different question. Not, can I afford a place to live, but is there a place to live that could also build something? That question is available to anyone right now. If you're renting, ask it about your next move. If you're nowhere near buying, ask it about what you're learning while you wait. If you're in a city because the job is there, ask whether that job is actually worth what the city is costing you. The rent path is the default. Most people are on it because nobody told them to question it. But my mom questioned it, and close to 6 years later, it's been one of the quietest and most powerful decisions I've ever watched someone make. I'm 15. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm sharing what I watched my mom do. This is her story. If it makes sense for your life, you're welcome to try it. That's completely up to you. Comment below if this just changed how you see things. Subscribe to Wandering Vienna if you haven't yet. Hit the like button. It tells the algorithm you liked this content. I post content like this every single week, and I don't want you to miss what's coming. Share this with a friend who you think needs to hear this. I'm Vienna, this is Wandering Vienna, and there's always more to explore. Bye!